everybody, welcome back to another CCSabers video. We're going to go over the SRGB style sabers today, and this is going to be the one that we'll be looking at, especially if this is your first time with these kind of sabers, or if you just got it and you don't really know how to work one of these sabers. This is the video for you. We're just going to do a quick overview, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, which is the functions and the chassis itself. But other than that, let's take a deeper dive. So starting from the exterior here, you're going to see this button here. This is where you're going to use some of the effects, turn it on and off, and just lighting up the saber as a whole. It's going to show no LED because you haven't turned it on yet. All you got to do is just hold until it says power on. And then if you want to turn on your saber, you just click it once. And that is pretty much all I'm going to tell you for now, because later I'm going to show you all the functions and how it works more in detail. But if you're like, I don't know how to turn it off, all you got to do is just hold it until it makes a little sound, and that's how you know that it's off. But now let's continue on with this video. So now we're going to take a closer look at the emitter before we move on to the chassis. As you can see, this has more of a hollow tubing. You don't really see the brass pings inside, unlike the SN Pixel and the NeoPixel one as well, meaning sabers. So you see the tubing and you see this kind of light bulb on the inside. It has more of a flashlight look. So if you just click, it emits light more like a flashlight. And this just allows the blade to distribute the light more equally when you put it inside. And we're going to cut to me having the blade in, but it's going to look so good. So now that I have the blade in, from your guys' perspective, the light just distributes equally, like you can see on my hand. But it doesn't in person have a lot of vibrantness to it, unlike the NeoPixel, which has the LED strips going up and down, which allows it to change the blade style and the ignition style. Just so much more to it. But I just personally like it because it just shines so beautifully. And this one is just a plain hollow blade. So that's why it's like you can see on the emitter at the top of the blade, it just shines just as equally throughout. But that is how the emitter works. I'm going to take the blade out. We're going to look at the chassis. I'm going to explain what's going on over there now. Now moving back to the chassis, we have the 32G SD card here and the board itself and your rechargeable battery. There's also a little charging port, which it will come with a charging cable or the charging block here like so. So those are going to be the only two types of chargers that you will have for your rechargeable battery, but most of the time it will come with the charging cord here, and all you gotta do is just have your charging block and your charging cord, plug it in, and that's how you'll charge your battery. There's also the speaker on the bottom, and that is the inside at the chassis. And let's move on to the functions. So now we have our blade back in. All you gotta do is just line it up with the emitter, whether it's NeoPixel. For that one, there's going to be brass pings. Be very careful with putting that blade in. But for this one, since there isn't any, all we gotta do is just line it up, make sure that our light doesn't crack, and just screw in the holes here with the screws on either the front or the back, or both, depending on your preference. So now we're going to turn it on. If it's not fully on, you just got to hold it until it says power on, and then click once to turn on your saber. So now that's on, there are some features like the blast deflection, just by hitting the aux, which you can see reflecting off of my face. And then there's also the clash. And then this is probably my favorite one, but the lockup. So all you gotta do is just hold and hit, and then you'll hear the lockup sound effect. And if you want the lockup to stop, all you gotta do is just release. So there you go, that is the lockup. And you can change the color while it's on too. all you gotta do is just point it down, hold, and twist. So now it's going to change color. But that is pretty much the functions while it's on. There's also one more function that I forgot to mention, which is that you can change the blade style while the blade is on. All you gotta do is just hold it and twist your wrist super fast to change the blade style that you see it on screen. So now that we have our saber off, I'm going to explain now the functions while, again, it's off. So first is, say if the volume's too loud and you want to lower it, all you gotta do is let the button flash once. So 1, and you'll hear it say volume low, volume high, or mute. So I'm gonna go back to volume high because that's going to be very easy for the next couple of functions. So we hold, now it's on mute.
Volume high.
There we go. And the second function that I'm going to explain is the presets. So you're going to let the button blink twice for that. So it's going to be 1, 2. And I'm just going to turn it on so that you can see that it's changed. And that is how you do the presets. And you could also, like the other clip that you guys just saw, you can change the blade style while it is off too. This is my personal method. I like doing it this way. It's just a little bit easier. You're gonna let the button blink 3 times. So you do 1, 2, 3.
Unstable blade.
Now it's on the unstable blade. And epilepsy warning, but there is that blade style for you as well. And that, for this particular one, that is all the functions. Some of the other SRGB Sabers have the ignition style as well, very similar to the NeoPixel Sabers. So now we've gotten a lot of questions about the SRGB, but I'm going to talk about mainly the 2 biggest questions that we get in those comment sections. One is the blade interchangeable with the NeoPixel? Short answer, no. We do have a video explaining the difference between those 2 kinds of sabers, and the main thing is the emitter is different. But if you want to check that video out, recommend it. It will be in the description or in the cards. So the other question that we get is the SRGB suitable for dueling? And the answer is yes. It is very durable. It's more for high intense dueling, unlike the NeoPixel, which is more for moderate to like beginner dueling. But there is no pings on the emitter, so that's why you can do hard dueling with this one, unlike the NeoPixel, which has the pings and the LED strips inside. But other than that, those are the main differences. And again, we have that video explain the differences between the NeoPixel and the SRGB in the corner or in the description, which goes far more into detail about both of those sabers. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and share because it helps us out. And this is a new series, so let us know what other style sabers you want to see, like the NeoPixel or the SN or the regular RGB. Out of those options, let us know down in the comments, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.